Chapter 16. Water. Dear students, look outside. It's raining. Oh, now you have to do one work. While it is raining, collect some of the rainwater directly in a clean container placed in the open. Now, collect some of the rainwater that is flowing over the ground. Have you collected? Okay. Now observe and compare the two. There is some difference, isn't it? Why? When other substances get mixed with water, it becomes impure. Some of the substances float in the water, so the water looks unclean or muddy. If the substances that are mixed in the water are harmful for living things, we say that the water has become polluted. Rivers, lakes are other sources of water. So now we'll find out how this water gets polluted. The wastewater of a city or town is collected and let into a water body at a convenient location. The wastewater from residential buildings as well as from the factories and industries contain many kinds of impurities. Some of the impurities dissolve in water while some do not. Sewage water can carry microorganisms that spread diseases. Wastewater from industries is more likely to contain poisonous substances. If all this wastewater is let into water bodies as it is, then the water bodies become polluted and it becomes dangerous. Such water cannot be used for drinking or for other purposes also. And therefore it is compulsory for factory owners to treat the water before letting it out. Similarly, sewage and other wastewater of towns and cities is first processed for purification and then only it is allowed to go into any water body. This helps to prevent pollution of water. Actually, flowing water of rivers get purified by natural process, but it has also some limit. So before water is supplied to a town or city, it is purified. The water purification processes at the water works takes place like this. First, settling. The water from the water source is allowed to stand in large tanks. Alum is also used to help the process of settling. Then, filtration. Water is filtered using a filtration machine. Then, oxygenation. Air and water are allowed to mix with the help of pumps. This causes oxygen from the air to dissolve in water. Chlorination. Chlorine is mixed in the water to kill the germs in it. Water is very important for us. But the water evaporates continuously. And that's why places where it does not rain for a long time experience a drought. At such places, the water level falls in rivers, wells, lakes, etc. and some of these may even go dry. The land also dries up due to evaporation. Humans and animals suffer from scarcity of water, and this condition is called famine, which is a natural disaster. Grain and fodder become scarce during a famine. The government temporarily moves people and animals from famine-stricken areas to safe places where they can be provided with water, food grain and fodder. Fodder camps are set up to take care of domestic animals. To manage all this, we have to make water management. Rain brings us water again and again, but we get rain only for 4 months a year. So if rainwater is not stored, we will not have water for our daily needs after the rains. To meet the whole year's need for water, rainwater must be stopped. When it is stopped, it percolates into the soil, and as the groundwater storage increases, trees get water. wells to get enough water. For this, there are several methods. Large dams can be built. Wherever it is not possible, smaller reservoirs, contour bunding, stopping the water of the smallest streams by constructing bunds or bandharas can be done. In some places, wells are dug in river beds to allow water to collect in them. Rainwater falling on roofs of houses is drained into large tanks placed beside the building. All these methods help us to store as much water as possible. Taking steps to ensure that rainwater will be available even in the period after the rainy season is called water management.